chosen by Collis P. Huntington as the Atlantic terminus of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. And whereas Mr. Huntington also established the Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company, and whereas Albert L. Hopkins, president of the Newport News Shipbuilding, died when the RMS Lusitania was sunk on May the 7th, 1915, by a German U-boat, and was replaced as president by Homer L. Ferguson. And whereas when the United States entered World War I on April the 6th of 1917, Newport News was named the headquarters of the Hampton Roads Port of Embarkation, resulting in the construction of several camps, including Camp Hill, Camp Alexander, Camp Stewart, Camp Morrison, and Camp Eustis, to send American troops to Europe. And whereas Newport News Shipbuilding received over $100 million in contracts issued from 1916 to 1917, which caused its workforce to increase by 7,600 in 1917 to 12,512 in September of 1919. And whereas the population of Newport News increased from 26,246 to 47,130, which caused a housing crisis to which Ferguson was able to obtain support from the U.S. Shipping Board and Emergency Fleet Corporation. And whereas Homer L. Ferguson had the foresight to acquire land with the support of Newport News Shipyard Chairman Henry E. Huntington, 2 miles away from the shipyard known as the Darling Tract, as well as to hire the distinguished team of land planner Henry V. Hubbard, architect Francis Jonas, and sanitary engineer Francis Block. And whereas Hubbard, Jonas, and Block created a unique design based on the British Garden City movement, and whereas the first federally funded planning housing project in the United States was named Hilton Village, in honor of Lieutenant John Pembroke Jones' farmhouse named Hilton. And whereas Hilton Village has survived naval construction limitations, the Great Depression, the wars, to retain its integrity as an English cottage-style community, resulting in Hilton Village's placement in the National Register of Historic Places. And whereas Hilton Village has made home to the famous authors, artists, actors, and musicians, including Thomas E. Skinner, Julius John J.J. Lanks, William Steiner, William Crutchfield, Gary Hudson, Barclay Sheiks, and Joseph Cotton. And whereas the Newport News City Council authorized the establishment of the Hilton Village Architectural Review Board to establish and maintain guidelines to Hilton's special English village look. And whereas Hilton Village is home to the vibrant business district and the Main Street Library, and whereas Hilton Village received the Great Places in American Neighborhoods Award from the American Planning Association in 2009, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Newport News, Virginia, that 1, it hereby recognizes and celebrates Hilton Village for its 100 years of remarkable history and significant contributions to the City of Newport News, Virginia. 2, that it congratulates the members of the Hilton Village community for their dedicated service to the City of Newport News and its citizens, and extends its best wishes for continued success and development. And 3, that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the records of this body, and that a copy be presented to Charles H. Webb, M.D., Honorary Chair of the Hilton Village Centennial Committee. And present this resolution to this group here.
John, is that better? Come on, Thank you.
Thank you. I'll hold this for you. And these
If I may say a couple things. It's an honor to accept this proclamation on behalf of the village. As historian, it was my job to get John Corstein to write the books and give the lectures at the Mariners Museum. My co-chairs, Jackie Legg and John Lash, deserve most of the credit, especially Jackie. Can we give her a round of applause? We've been supported by the generosity of the City Council, by the involvement and support of Johnny Davis, by Parks and Rec, and Cheryl Morales, and Tourism, Shelley Zano, Cabell Sale, Mary Kay. The architects of the village put together a walking tour. The Vacation Channel did a wonderful video. Patty Van Olen and the News Network, Friends of Hilton Beach, the churches, the businesses, the community, all deserve our deepest thanks. And especially the neighbors who love to live in a planned community. Thank you all.
I especially want to thank the Honorable City Council for this recognition. I would like to thank the city government, administrative government, for all the support that they've given us, and the planning department, which we have worked diligently also to support the historic Centennial Committee. And especially Jackie Lake, who hails as our main cheerleader, and she never gives up, and she has polished all of our efforts into what we have today. We are in her great debt. As a member of the team leadership Hilton Centennial Committee, I would like to thank the Honorable City Council, as I've already done, for this wonderful resolution. The committee is extremely appreciative that the council has given us this form of recognition. It is important to know that the Centennial Committee is comprised of people from historic Hilton Village and many of the surrounding neighborhoods in the greater Hilton area. In addition, we have received support from various companies and organizations, as well as people throughout the area that just have a genuine interest in the Hilton Village. Many months ago, we knew that we had to do something to commemorate such a historic occasion. Many people know of Hilton Village. However, there are not many people who know much of the history about how this great neighborhood was developed. Hilton Village is truly one of the greatest untold stories. The committee decided to take advantage of the Centennial and to properly celebrate and tell the full story of historic Hilton Village. We decided that this should be a year-long event. This became even more evident from the first meeting that we had, where many people showed up and shared their backgrounds and various experiences that they have had throughout the years in the village. Throughout our awareness planning, we have decided to tell the story of a struggling shipbuilding industry and the difficulty that it encountered to provide decent housing for its labor force. The many perils that the workers and families were subjected to in order to meet the growing demands that World War I was placing on them. The story of how a war housing project came about that was not a typical housing project, but one that would become a hallmark in the planning profession and a showcase of remarkable architecture that's unparalleled. And the resolve of this great city of ours to answer the call under such a very harrowing time in our history. We have decided to reveal this story through education lectures. 2 wonderful books by John Corstein on Hilton Village. We've had an art show that was done. We have a theater performance that will happen We have food, music, dance, and many other activities throughout the year, and especially on July the 7th, where many of these events will occur. It is our hope that we will accomplish our task to educate the public about this well-kept treasure. And we invite the Honorable City Council and the public to participate in this historic event and help us to tell the full untold story. Thank you.